really very happy to see you here. My brother, Sylvester, thank you so much for having you. And also, I'm having Sonia Samuel. Thank you for having you here. I'm having Igbaruse and also Faith. Thank you also for having you here. And I welcome everyone in this class. And I want us to all know that we are here for the best of it. And I want us to all participate in this by contributing to what we want to do. Let your mind be here as we go on. This is data analysis class. So I wanted to say hi on the comment at the message, so I will know I'm not talking for. I'm not talking. Can you just unmute and just say something? Just unmute and say something? Let me just know I have people here.
Yeah, we are with you, sir. Thank you for coming. Thank you for having us.
Can I have another one? Another person, please? Another one, please. Is that how I can have? Okay, no problem. We are going to be just moving on to what we have to do today. And I'm very sure that as we start, we are going to all see. So fine, I'll be taking up this data analysis class, and I'll be sharing my screen, and I want us to all go with me. So we want to look at data as Excel for data analysis training. So I'm going to be looking at understanding data analysis, Excel cleaning and formatting tasks. So the first thing is I would like to tell you myself. My name is Henry Samuel. I've been into data analysis for more than 15 years. Presently a research consultant and a data analyst for Mukafom, Nigerian Breweries. I was a consultant for UNICEF, and also presently I was a finance analyst for Burger King for 5 years. I've worked in Lagos and also online coordinating financial analysis for Nigeria and then to Switzerland. I've won a scholarship to Germany, to Ghana on data analysis. Presently, I work with an oil and gas company as the head of internal audit and control and also strategic way, and also working extensively with the CFO in the terms of data analysis. So thank you so much. We're going to be learning so much things here. So the first thing is this: to understand what the data is. Excel is one of the best tools in which you can use to analyze your data. Several persons can just see data set, but the first thing you have to understand is, what do you want to bring out from this data set? What do you want to bring out from this data set? What is the language you want to speak from this data set? Are you just going to analyze this set to just have your model, or you want to use it to interpret a business? I've had several students that undergo several trainings, and at the end of the day, they cannot just analyze the data when they see a raw data set. I'll be showing out how a raw data set looks like. So when you see a raw data set, you need to understand what you want to do with it. So that is the introduction part of this class. So Excel is one of the tools you want to look at in data analysis. Okay, I said it in a class last week where I was having, and I told them, I said, in which some people of them already attest to that, is that when you look at Excel, Microsoft Excel, so many people want to look at Power BI, Tableau, and all that. But many companies I've worked with, both local and international, synchronize and analyze and collect their data through Excel. So when you go for an interview, they will ask you, what's your proficiency in Excel? You will say 10%. And after they ask you several questions, they'll find out that you don't even know much about it. Excel is one of the tools you can use in scripting, in analyzing, in collating and sorting out information in any format. Even you can even embed it and synchronize it to your chat GPT to analyze and program your VBI. So let's just sit down and understand all this. So Excel for data analysis training. So we need to understanding the data analysis, Excel cleaning, and the formatting tasks. So as it is, the question we are going to ask ourselves is, how can I deal with data when I see it? How can I use Excel when I see it? How can I do with the information when I get this on Excel? So the first thing you need to know is you need to understand the data analysis process. Number one is how to turn your raw material into meaningful insight. When you get the data set, what language, what term do you going to use to turn it to what the business will take in as an information? So then you have to define your problem, the data, the collect data, you have to check the data that was collected, you check it. How does it look like? What is the process? What is the thing? What do you have in the data set? If you put your data set in any software, you will get your results. But what will you do with the results? By God's grace, I study pure and applied mathematics and statistics, and we understand what figure stands for. When you have 1, what do you mean? When you have 2, what do you mean? When you have 2.5, what do you mean? What are you speaking? So then you know how to clean your data. What is useful for you might not be useful for me. So when you understand what the usefulness of that information, your data set, you will now know how to clean that data set. Then you will now know what tools to use to analyze that data. It is then that you will now interpret that data according to what the usefulness is. So one of the tools we are going to be looking at in this training is Excel. From Excel, we'll move to SPSS. From SPSS, we move to Stata. I'm very sure, I'll bet you that after this class, you will be able to fit in as a data analysis and a consulting firm, in a market research, in NGO, and any other place you meet yourself. Then the goal is to support decision making with evidence. So many companies want to know when they are making decisions, they want to support it with evidence that truly 85% of this information is really coming from this place. As a business owner, they might want to know how many percentage of our business is coming from particular socioeconomic class. Who is our customers? So many business don't even know who their customers is. So they might conduct a market research and want to know actually who is their customers. So that will enable them to do what we call the brand health tracking, to now know who are those people that we need to advertise to. Who are those people that is really buying our product? Are we going to the student? Are we going to the middle class? Are we going to upper class? So then, when you go into introduction to Excel for data entry and cleaning, so we use rows for records and column for variables. So we are going to, when I go into Excel, I'm going to explain this. Then you enter consistent values. Consistency, when you do your frequency analysis, when you do your count, you find out that your mail will be different, because when you have the first capital letter and you have the first small letter, you are not saying the same thing. And also, you will use your Excel table for a structured data. So that will give us what you want your data structure to look like. Then also, you need to avoid match cells and empty rows. So when you are working with data set, your empty rows is very important. You need to avoid them to make sure that your empty rows is really empty rows. So you know what lines they are and what they are standing for. So when you are counting a number, you don't count empty rows. So your analysis you have to base on the entered entries in your cells. So now also formatting and filtering and sorting and data validations. So what is this? So formatting, so we have numbers, we have date and text format for clarity. So this formatting have to show what kind of numbers do you have. So many people does not know that numbers is in just a number is different from accounting numbers. So number is just 235, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. But when you're looking at accounting numbers, there's going to be a comma. So then your dates, you have to use a consistent date format. Then your text format have to be clarified when you are filtering out your main data set to use. And also you have to view specific subset of the data. And when you are sorting, you have to organize by alphabetical or numerical, or you customize the order. So depending on the way you want to do it. So when we look at the data validation, now when you are talking about the drop down, you might want to look at your data and find, okay, let me just do a drop down. From this drop down, I will really know how I will going to structure my data, to filter my data, to make sure that I have a good model. So this is what you're going to be looking at. I don't know whether anybody has a question before we move on, before we go to the main class, because in this class, we are not going to be having so much stories. We're going to be looking at main work. Any question, you can just raise up your question as we go on to the next class, phase of the class. Any question? Can you hear me? So we're going to be making use of. So okay, let me open that. So I've dropped that now in our WhatsApp group. So fine. Okay. So this is a raw data set. And when you look at this data set, these are normal data set that are coming from a study. This is just a QSR market research data set. And as a data analyst, when you get this kind of data from your company or a client, the first thing they might just send you a questionnaire that captures this data. So we look at this data. The first question you ask yourself is, what is this data talking about? Now you can open it from your side and just preview for 1 minute before I ask my question. And before I start doing justice to this, one after the other. I'm trying to just throw and look at this data set. Now just see, this is just the raw data set. Okay. Can we all get that?